Okay, we are here in North Clocktown. Just gonna start the bomber minigame. It's currently day 1. And for our heap that we need to wait for night. Just so that when you wait for night, then some actors that were loaded during day 1 but unload when it becomes night, just has a big influence on the heap. And the next thing we are doing for the heap is some shenanigans with the Keaton grass. So there are there's a group of Keaton grass there. It's 9 bushes of grass total. So you see there of that actor type there have been 20. Now it's 11. Now 20 again. Depending on how the camera is, they can appear or disappear. So there are spawns, and yeah, what we want is we want to spawn this sign actor. So when you cut the sign, then it just spawns yet another sign actor. And you want to spawn that when the grass was gone, because the grass spawned right after I cut the sign. I was not quite sure if that worked, but I checked again where everything loaded there, and it was fine. So yeah, the grass needed to load after the sign spawns. So next thing I'm doing here is I'm getting the bomber kit in a convenient position. Yeah, now I will activate the Keaton grass here. There are several bushes that you can cut without messing anything up, without messing up the heap, but also some that you must not cut. Now I launched a Decibubble towards the bomber kit, and next Decibubble goes in the direction to the Majora balloon. And now I want to load yet another Decibubble, and the third Decibubble is for SRM. And I need to charge it after the first bubble disappears, because I want it to load in just the same to the same edges. So the first time did not work because the Keaton grass unloaded already, and that's the second difficulty here. I want to charge the third bubble before the Keaton grass is gone, but I need to catch the bomber kit after the Keaton grass is gone. And this is something I'm checking here right now. So this did not quite work. There was still one bush active. And yeah, so you will see me just load save states again and try again. And yeah, this also, by the way, was like the 1 trillionth attempt here. And also I need to catch the bomber kit exactly 1 frame before the balloon explodes. So there's 1 frame where you can hit the balloon, and the balloon will explode on the next frame. So that is the frame I need to get. And this is also what just happened here. And I was so surprised when I got it, actually, after an hour of trying here. So yeah, I just reloaded the save state and yeah, attempted it again, and yeah, I got it here again. And yeah, this time I looked a little bit closer at the numbers that are manipulated. So first of all, yeah, here check again if all the grass is gone. Only 11 of those actors are there, so that was fine. So what are we even SRMing here, you might ask? When the balloon explodes, it loads an overlay. And yeah, all the grass shenanigans earlier were so that the overlay of the explosion can load where the Kekin grass was earlier. But the bubble needed to load quite high enough, so I needed the Kekin grass so that the bubbles could load after the Kekin grass. And yeah, here what I'm editing in the overlay is something in the destroy function. So I'm just cheating some numbers here, and you can see the game's just changing it right back. That's because Dekulink is currently writing to it with SRM. And yeah, this function that I manipulated will run after the dust of the explosion is gone. So that's when the destroy function runs. However, this function that I created here is, so I got this just by coincidence. I have not set up anything in particular yet. And yeah, now the function is running and you can see it here. Nothing is happening, and that's because what I got by coincidence was a return trap exception if 0 equals CC. Now because 0 does not equal CC, just nothing happens. Also worth noting, the 8-0 that I wrote with my Z angle, that is usually an invalid instruction that would crash on N64. We fortunately just ignores it. So at least on Wii we would not have to deal with that. But anyway, because you have to deal with all the Kekin grass stuff, I'm pretty sure that this is not going to happen RTA. And I think a TES would emulate N64 anyway. And there's also a way to avoid the 8-0. If you do a backflip, then you can get 0 on your Z angle, and then you would just not write anything. Okay, so now SRM ended here again, and I paused the game, and I'm just going to hack this instruction to something else. Now, this is of course cheated, but just to demonstrate what that this is actually executed. So what I'm hacking in here is a jump instruction that runs a pretty cool function. Also worth noting, this instruction that I'm hacking here is not actually doable, really. Now I got all sorts of items, so this is a debug function. And now what I just hacked in here again is I changed the compare value for the trap exception to 0, so now it checks if 0 equals 0, and if so, throw trap exception, and this is a soft crash. Pretty cool. One thing that I have to mention again, at least this setup here in particular is not RTA viable, not at all, because the Kekin grass is a ridiculous RNG factor. I mean, with some setups we could make this maybe kind of RTA friendly, yeah, but I don't see this being used in speedruns. Then the second thing is the angle. So we write with our angle to the destroy function of this dust actor that spawns, and the number of angles that we actually can get is very limited, because the angles are calculated in a stupid way. It's some sort of lookup table, and you can only get, like, I think it was 1 in 16 values per angle. So we formed the instruction with X and Y angle, and yeah, both of those can only be 16 every 16th value that is in theory possible. Only 1 in 16 we can hit, and Yeah, those angles combined is then 1 in 256, so what we actually can ace here is very limited. Yeah, so next we need to see what we even can form with angles. Then maybe if something useful is available, then a test can maybe do this.